Hello everyone and welcome to another Farmer Plays Lord of the Rings Online. Who is ready for some legendary servers with an R in the middle? I am. I will be playing. Um, who here thinks it's going to be fun to be ganked by a wraith while doing whatever you want to be doing? I'm not. uh, I don't prefer PvP when I'm not doing PvP, even though this isn't PvP, but this is RNG that can affect the gameplay in the worst possible moment. And so I think somebody likes the idea of this, and it is a good idea. The implementation is going to go horribly. I just want to say that. I wanted to say that somewhere where it's kind of out in the open and easy to point out if I'm right or wrong. Like, hey, you said this on this date. You are a genius, or you are an idiot, because we're binary these days. People are either geniuses or idiots, depending on if they believe the same thing as you do. Oh, fact-based things. Where did you go? But today, we're actually going to be. We're not going to get sidetracked too much by this. We're going to talk to Baron Bethnir, this elf, I think, and he has a foreword for us. Unlikely Fellowship.
Greetings, friend.
Level
We love
50,
Moria.
which means we're going into Volume 2, which has me really excited because I love Moria. Thing is, we're not going to stay in Moria for that long, because at the end of this book, we're going to go into Mirkwood, which I recently finished on my actual main, which is actually lower level on this, but that's, I boosted. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have. Anyway, well, I didn't boost to play the game. I boosted to be like, oh yeah, I don't have have to worry about leveling on the side. I'm lazy. The world is built by lazy people and their genius ideas, and then ruined by lazy people not having any genius ideas doing stuff. Anyway, this is the foreword. You can get the foreword also in Angmar, in Gathforthnir. You can get it in Evendim from some captain somewhere. Give me a second. I had it somewhere. No, I closed it down like an idiot. I had it before. Give me time to do a quick Google. Unlikely Fellowship. It should come up. So you can start this quest. There it is. So you can start this quest in 4 different places. So Gathforthnir in Angmar, from Fimreg, from this guy, Barbendir in Rivendell, Meldir in Vidurhal in the Misty Mountains, and Captain General Daerdan in Ekkat Gardair in Annuminas Evendim. Oh, it was in Annuminas. It should be enough to say Annuminas. That's not the only thing that's a little bit different. So dwarves, elves, high elves, and stout axes get the Unlikely Fellowship quest. Man and Bjornings get Bulwark of the West, and they talk to Aragorn and Boromir. Hobbits get Hobbits Far Afield, which is, I think, all of the hobbits in Gandalf, at least all of the hobbits in Bilbo's room. But what happens in the end, once all of those quests are finished, so you obviously don't do all of them, but you can by having at least one dwarf, elf, high elf, or stout axe, one man or Bjorning, and then one hobbit, so you need 3 characters to get all of these in. I'm not that much of a completionist. I did this long ago on my captain. I have never I have leveled a hobbit this high up, but I'm not sure I did the foreword on him. That both of those were on a different server. I'm reminiscing about that time. I was so innocent in Lothar. Anyway, we're gonna do this.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
Foreword. Unlikely Fellowship. Master Elrond wishes to speak with you at it about a matter of some urgency. What matters concerns both elves and dwarves, I wonder. Go inside and speak with Master Elrond in his library. Accept. We'll go to talk to him. Yes, but what happens at the end of this quest line, spoilers, is that the Fellowship departs. And so the Fellowship departs from Rivendell before we canonically do. So, from this point on, I'm gonna say a lot of so's. So, Volume 1 happened at the end, at least, primarily with the Fellowship in Rivendell. Now, Volume 2, and then the following volumes happen with the Fellowship ahead of us. Well, the Fellowship breaks, actually, technically, after Volume 2, technically, but and we don't meet, I think, Frodo and Sam at all until there's a certain wedding in a certain city at the end. So that's what's going to happen now. So the ring is always going to be ahead of us, and we are dealing with things in the background, whether you want to consider it background in the movies or background in the books. It's easier to consider it background in the books because this is more follows the books way more closely. Give me a second while I check on this. Okay, that's for Wildermore. Oh, Wildermore, it's a great place.
Will you lend me your aid once more?
Welcome at it. I am pleased to see you well. Do not be not uncomfortable in my house. The friendship of we know each other. Come on, it's fine. The friendship of elves and dwarves may have waned over the long years, but it must not be sundered. I set you on silent. Please give me some. A small company will soon be setting forth. Apparently, I didn't set it on silence. Will soon be setting forth on a mission of great secrecy to battle this growing darkness. I am loath to speak in detail of their errand, but know that it will do great hurt to the enemy of this age if they succeed. Among this company is one of your folk, a dwarf named Gimli, and an elf of Mirkwood named Legolas. He is a prince of that folk. They must work together if their errand is to succeed, but for some time elves and dwarves have been reluctant to do so. I would have you aid them with their preparations. By your example, I hope they will set aside their differences. Look for them in one of the guest rooms along the road that winds up the southern slopes of the Vale of Imladris. Right, and so we go. So the Fellowship hasn't left, but the foreword ends with them leaving. And from that moment on, I would say Volume 2, from what I do remember, is that they generally don't involve the Fellowship at all. Yes, we are behind them, but we don't interact with anyone of the Fellowship. Maybe a bit in Lorien? I don't want to say too much because I'm not sure. But at least in Moria, we are simply following in their footsteps. Yes, I think I'm pretty sure. Because even the Balrog, we see the corpse of him, which means Gandalf's battle is over and he's gone through. I don't think I am wrong, but I might be because with a lack of information. I don't think I'm wrong with the information that I know, but with the information that I don't know, I might be cataclysmically wrong. Also, can I say, we've been having this great music in Eriador. I'm looking forward to, because now we're gonna go to places a bit faster. We won't be doing level 50 quests for like a we had as many books at level 50 as we did from 15 to 50. And so things are going to change in the way that we're going to be moving up a bit faster in the world. We're going to be going through the world instead of going back and forth in the world that we already knew. So this is going to be probably a bit more exciting, if you could say that.
Stay a moment.
We'll start with Legolas, because I'm a dwarf and we're trying to mend things here. You have the ear of Elrond at it and his trust, and that means you have mine as well. The animosity between our peoples has been exaggerated. Over the course of the long years in these dark times, we should not focus on the distant past, but should instead strengthen the bonds of friendship, for we will have need of them against the enemy. In similar fashion, I fear my bold words following the council at which the great threat was exposed may have upset some of my fellows, the elves, Galdor and Erestor. I would not have them nurse resentment of my words overlong. They argued in favor of the western passage, though I did not blame them for it. I spoke with some heat against that course. If you bring them word of my regret, perhaps they will forgive my brassness. The errand of the company is urgent, but I was wrong to speak so harshly of its opposition. Speak with Erestor at the haven of Orladion, northwest of the house of Elrond. If you, a dwarf, bring word of my regret, Erestor's eyes may be newly opened to the need for cooperation among all peoples. Ask Erestor if he knows where Galdor may be found, for he too deserves my apology. So, when they say the westward passage, they argue that the ring should go to the Undying Lands, where the Valar lives. Now let's talk
Might
to
you
Gimli.
lend me an ear?
By my beard, it seems like you have been entrusted with news of our errand, and why not? Elrond seems to be wise enough for an elf. He seems to know a good character from bad, but I am ready to put an end to this waiting. Give me goblin skulls to cleave. If you are sick of waiting as I am, why not bring this message to my father at his camp in the mountains? Ask him what he thinks of the likelihood that Gandalf might let us come to the halls of Balin in Khazad Dûm. It could be that Balin found Thror's ring somewhere in Moria. Now, would that not be something? My father Glóin's camp is in the north of Rivendell in the Misty Mountains. Right, so we have some traveling ahead of us. Right, so you're up there. I think we should go to the Rivendell stables first and finish talking to Glóin. Alright, Gimli, what do you have to say?
No dawdling.
No dawdling. Well, off we go. Just a joke. My son is not as attentive as he believes himself to be at it if he thinks Balin may have found the ring of Thror within Khazad Dûm. Gandalf told us the fate of Thror's ring while at the council. We are dwarves at it, so you understand we are dwarves at it, so you understand the call of stone and gems. My apologies. And in all of us, there lies a slumbering desire to see the halls of Khazad Dûm alive and shining once again. It could be that Balin, son of Fundin, works there now, restoring the splendor of its ancient cities, but I do not know that is a vain hope. There has been no word from Moria in many long years. I cannot tell my son the mind of Gandalf. You should speak with the wizard yourself if you wish to know his plans. I believe he is in Bilbo's room on the ground floor of the house of Elrond. Speak with him to hear of Moria, for I will not speak of it more.
Greetings.
I think I am a literal dwarf because I literally, not in game, as a character, I had this also when I went through the dwarf as an elf. So that's kind of blasphemous, but I just love that place. So I'm a dwarf at heart. I play dwarves in everything that I can. I even consider playing Alliance in World of Warcraft to play as dwarves. That's
Megovanen.
That's maybe taking it a bit too far. No one plays Alliance. No one with beep. Anyway, so boy, you're getting my feelings on a lot of things today. New legendary servers, people that play the Alliance in World of Warcraft. Wow. Yeah. Let's finish the Sunset Fathers part of it. I think that's best to keep it kind of cohesive. We might have to come back into the homely house to talk to I don't remember the name of that's Elrond's hall. That was from the other dwarf. Eristor was one. I don't remember. So here you have a little bit of dread, and that's because Frodo has the ring.
Why do you disturb me?
That's a nice aesthetic for those that know. Many troubles could be avoided and such time saved if certain parties paid more attention to the things that were said to them. If Gimli, son of Glóin, was not interested in listening to the tales told at the council, he should have given his seat to someone else. His father is correct. Balin could not have found in Moria the ring of Thror, the last of the dwarf rings forged of old. For though it was given from Thror to his son Thrain, it was taken from Thrain in captivity. As for Balin himself, the lack of news from Moria is troubling. But I will not muse needlessly on his fate. Return to Gimli and tell him that the errand of the company must be first in his thought. There is no room for other concerns. Right, so we can tell Gimli that. We will talk to Gimli and Legolas together. We actually have a little speed boost. Now let's go up here. I was forever to find this guy when I was doing this. I was doing this on some character not too long ago, but it wasn't my oh yeah, it was so I could do the Moria thing that I'm doing. So I was always trying to wait a minute. Yeah, so I was always looking for something up here. I went, looked and looked, no passage, nothing here. Went over the bridge, couldn't find anything, nothing in this direction. Well, it's here, kind of hidden. We can go here, and up here. It's obvious now, it's very obvious now, that I spent some considerable time
Hail, friend, and well met.
looking and being annoyed. At that, Legolas has nothing for which to apologize. His words were no more strident than my own or Galdor's. That's his name. These are difficult times, and friends should not be afraid to voice their concerns with friends. I asked of him this: if the instrument of our grief is unmade, as seems to be the course we must take, what will become of the majesty of the elves? What victory is there in that? Legolas did not waver in his reply, and I forgive him for the heat of it. Even Elrond, wisest of lore masters, does not know what will happen if the errand of the company is successful. But it must be undertaken. That much is clear to me now, though the sight of it came sooner to Legolas. Galder of the Havens, he's at the stables in the northwest corner of the valley. Right, so he's down there. Eristor is pointing out that he wanted originally the ring to go to the Undying Land because he did not know what would happen if the One Ring was destroyed. And he's talking about the majesty of the elves, and he's talking about that because the One Ring is also linked to the 3 rings that the elves have through some ring lore that can be better explained by others. If Tolkien Untangled does it really well. That's a YouTube channel, check him out. And so that's why he wanted it originally, but now he can see that he kind of thinks that it is for the best to destroy it and come what may, because the other instance is not okay. This is for a dungeon in Helegrod, up at the Misty Mountains. There he is.
What do you need?
Edit, you have come on behalf of Legolas Greenleaf. Rare is it for an elf to send a dwarf to speak his words. I jest with you, courageous warden. I have already forgiven Legolas for the fire of his argument. For it is clear to me after some reflection that all other courses we might take were not real solutions. For the instrument of dread has a way of making itself known again, though you send it overseas or to any place thought secure. Now I have forgiven Legolas many times over his frustration. Indeed, I would give him this white knife as a sign of my forgiveness. Bring it to him with my good wishes. Edit. So now we can go and talk to the unlikely friendship that is about to bloom. It hasn't yet, and it won't for some time, not until after, wait a minute, what am I doing? Not until after Lothlorien. So obviously there is some camaraderie, but not, like there isn't this underlying hatred, maybe some splintering animosity, but they kind of resolve it. And I don't know, it's a case study of seeing how, after everything that has happened between the two races, how they came together. I think some people in the world could learn a lot from the friendship of Gimli and Legolas. Let's not say any names.
How can I be of service?
Thank you, Edith. It brings me great happiness with the news that Galdor and Eristor have not borne me any resentment, and I will bear this knife in honor of their friendship. Gandalf has that to say, Edith. I am not to be blamed if the mind wanders during such long discussions. You and I are dwarfs of action, given to fighting and carousing, not idle chatter. Oh, he knows me so well. Thank you for your aid, my friend. It is to be hoped that Balin's work in Moria prospers and that Khazad-dûm will shine again. Perhaps, if the errand of the company succeeds, you and I will go there someday and lend our strong arms to the effort. I'm sure Balin will appreciate your help. Well, that should be an expansion. I'd play that expansion. Well, to be fair, I can't wait for Gundabad, but I haven't gone there yet, so that's the thing I want to do as well. Though I'm told it's not as good as Moria, but what is? What is? Right, now we'll talk to Elrond. Actually, let's not forget, I have the muster abilities, which saves me from here to here, I believe. With that slow induction, it might not save me that much time at all.
A strange fate brings you hither.
Thank you for helping Legolas and Gimli with their preparations, Edit. They must learn to work together if the errand of the company is to end in success.
Hope is not in vain.
Time has come for the company to depart on their errand of secrecy, Edit. As you have been of some assistance with the preparations, you may join the members of my household as we see them on their way. Tell me when you are ready to wish them well.
The household of Elrond Half-Elven gather to bid farewell to 9 brave adventurers entrusted with a secret task which could mean the salvation or doom of Middle-earth. I, Gandalf the Grey, must lead them along dark roads.
Everything seems to be ready, Edit. We're about to leave. Hopefully I will see you once this is all done with. Well, who knows, maybe at the end we'll shake hands once more. I'm talking to Frodo, by the way, if someone is not watching. I don't think I'm saying the names of the people I'm talking to very often, so. You take care of yourself, Frodo. Adventuring is dangerous business, says Bilbo. It is, but look at all that help I'll have. You're right, Frodo. You can't go wrong with a Took, a Brandybuck, and a Gamgee. Solid hobbits all. Let's start with talking to Sam. Samwise, you dunderhead, you have gone and forgotten to bring a bit of rope with you. I knew there was something you had forgot. Bill here will have too much to carry as it is, and I've lightened his load as much as I can. Keep an eye upon these lands while we're away, my friend. Our errand is a dangerous one, but there will be dangers behind us too, and my footsteps will be easier if I know that Edit remains behind to protect against them. My own journey will carry me far from here. Andúril will go to Minas Tirith, but my road follows that of the company for many leagues. This is it, Edit. This is Mary. This is it, Edit. Wish us luck. We'll be sure to come through okay. Leastways, we'll make sure to lend Frodo all the help we can and do whatever Gandalf needs us to do. We'll see you when we get back, and that's a promise. Come on, Pip. It's almost time to go. Talk to Boromir. So begins a new journey. Let us go forth boldly, I say, rather than skulking from a shadow to shadow. Let the enemy quail at our coming. Are we ready at last to leave? I will be glad to put this waiting behind us. Always do I wind my horn at the setting forth, let the enemy quake at its call. That was ill done, Boromir, says Elrond. The strength of the company's errand is in secrecy. Why should we creep in darkness and in fear? We are not thieves, says Boromir. Yet we must leave like thieves, Boromir, or risk detection, says Gandalf. Come here, Edith. The number of the company has been chosen, Edith, and many more would threaten the success of its mission. You have business remaining in Eriador, brave lord. Defend its people from the lengthening shadow. If the errand of this company fails, Eriador will have need of heroes before the final darkness. You have done your part, Edith. This burden is for others to bear. Elrond says, the company is setting out to Mount Doom. I ask no oath or bond of you, save Frodo alone. You go with him as free companions. And Gimli says, any who abandon Frodo will answer to my axe. Elrond says, a fool vows to walk any road when he not knows where it winds. Gimli says, such a vow might lend the fool courage to strengthen his heart if strength is needed. Elrond says, rely upon each other and take what counsels you can. Elrond assents again, go now with the blessing of all the free folk, farewell. And Sam says, come on, Bill. Sam and Bill. That's... sorry. Legolas says, farewell, sweet Imladris, you stay always in my memory. Now, the... sorry. Merry asks... Pippin asks Merry, what is it, Pippin? I bet it's something related to food. I'm hungry, yeah. Oh, they nailed it. Anyway, there should be a series on the love between Bilbo and Sam, between Bill and Sam. You know, like bromance. They do all sorts of shows these days. Spin-offs, it could be a great spin-off. Would be better than some unmentioned series or, you know, episodes. Elrond, it is done, and they are beyond my aid. For all of my wisdom, I cannot see the end of the road. May they come to it in safety and return to Rivendell in victory. And so the company departs. May the stars shine upon their roads, and let us go back inside at it. There is nothing more we can do for them. The company must now rely upon their own strength and wisdom. I was kind of hoping for like a, not a, you know, kind of a cutscene, but no. Maybe after I talk to Elrond, no, that wouldn't be right. It would have been after the thing. Whoa. Pay attention, dude. Think when you're talking, not just talk as you're thinking. I was right outside the library. Should have been jumping down here.
Dark days are coming.
It is done, Edit. All our hopes now rest upon the 9 members of the company. 9 walkers to stand against the 9 riders of the enemy. May they come to no harm and return in safety, their task completed. There is nothing we can do for them. We must stand tall against the shadow and keep its attention focused upon us, far away from those who can do it the greatest harm. That is our task now, Edit. Do you accept it? So that is the foreword. And yeah, I will find out where I can get volume 1. And that is it for now. I think I've said enough opinions and finished the foreword, so that is a good chapter to finish. Alright everybody, thank you, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye bye.